blocked you. Even though I know you was gonna go to Atlanta, and I was like, I didn't want to know what you was doing out there. I told you I blocked. You was calling me all private numbers all morning. You was calling my mama. So let me tell y'all about this, all right? For the past couple of months, I've been very quiet, but I've been going through a lot of stuff that I keep to myself. First thing first, this guy, right, is upset because I sent his girlfriend text messages of him begging me, saying he was gonna take away his life, begging me, saying he's gonna take away my life.
Oh, there has been some more things with Offset and Cardi. Offset has now deleted his Instagram and his X account. His X account currently pulls up as this account does not exist, and you can't even go to it.
Welcome back to your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Let's spill the tea on today's biggest celebrity stories. Offset is spiraling, and Cardi B just dropped a bombshell that's got everyone shook. She revealed that Offset's been flooding her phone with desperate messages, saying he can't live without her, and even threatening to take his own life if she doesn't cut things off with Stefon Diggs. What looked like your typical messy celeb breakup has taken a dark and dangerous turn. Cardi says she's been trying to stay calm and protect her peace, but Offset's emotional collapse is dragging her straight into chaos. And the scariest part? This might just be the start of something way worse. Offset's always danced on the line between wild and carefree. But this right here, this feels unhinged. Back in late March 2025, Cardi B went live on X and let it all out. Fans couldn't believe their ears. She exposed Offset for sending her disturbing texts, begging her to come back, swearing he'd end it all if she didn't, and even hinting at taking her with him if she didn't drop Stefon. That's a huge shift from the version of Offset we'd seen before, the one acting like he was too cool to care, like he'd already moved on. For months, he played it detached, acting unbothered about Cardi's next moves. But behind the scenes, he was losing it, and now it's all spilling out in the ugliest way possible. But behind the scenes, Offset's behavior has been way more disturbing than folks realized, and Cardi's not holding back anymore. What seemed like one emotional outburst turned out to be just the tip of the iceberg. According to Cardi, the texts and calls never stopped. They've been non-stop, relentless, obsessive, and straight up toxic. This ain't just heartbreak, it's harassment. Cardi says Offset's acting like he's still got a hold on her, even though he won't admit it in public. He's been quiet online, barely saying a word, but that silence is looking real suspicious now. It's not peace, it's a cover-up. Cardi's done playing nice. She's calling it what it is. And the wildest twist? Cardi actually reached out to Offset's rumored new boo, Melanie Jada, the model who got spotted living it up with him on a high-end Dubai shopping spree. Cardi claims she sent Melanie some of those disturbing texts Offset had been sending her, not out of spite, but as a warning. Like, girl, this is what he's really on. That move reportedly set Offset off. Cardi says he went ballistic when he found out. Funny, because just days before, he allegedly tried to send revenge explicit material to Stefon Diggs, Cardi's current man. So now Offset's raging over boundaries? Please, the hypocrisy is insane. But it doesn't end there. Cardi says this man turns nasty anytime she travels. She opened up about the twisted pattern, how he floods her with long voice notes packed with cruel insults.
Hey, we had what's up, Twan? Drew. What's up? Cut the light on. Cut the light on. Yeah, man. I just want to let y'all folk know we having shit. Know what I mean? It's here. I'm going up out of this though. Y'all live with that. How you?
Trying to tear her down and shake her confidence. It's giving unstable energy, and Cardi's finally shining a light on it. Cardi says some of the messages Offset sent her were explicit and downright humiliating, not just meant to hurt her feelings, but to crush her emotionally. And it gets even creepier. She claims Offset had the nerve to FaceTime her while he was with his new girl, almost like he was trying to mess with her head and control her emotions from afar. That's not just messy, that's manipulative. Even with all her fame and tough exterior, Cardi sounded drained. She laid it out plain. This wasn't just about a breakup. It was about being mentally and emotionally worn down by someone who knew exactly how to hit her where it hurts. She talked about twisted revenge plays, obsessive voice messages, and months of straight-up psychological warfare. According to Cardi, this wasn't about jealousy or clout anymore. This was about protecting her sanity and safety. It's no longer a love story, it's survival. She's trying to build peace, and Offset keeps pulling her back into chaos like he refuses to let her breathe. And let's be real, it's shocking, but it's not new. Cardi had already been hinting at this back in January. That's when she publicly accused Offset, and even his own mother, of stealing from her. She didn't go deep on the receipts, but the energy was heavy. And around that same time, she called Offset out for distancing himself from their kids. She said he skipped out on holiday time with them, yet somehow made time to show up for everything else that benefited him. Cardi's telling it like it is, and the details are chilling. She says some of the messages Offset sent were not just explicit. They were meant to humiliate her. They weren't just about getting a reaction. They were designed to break her down. But the part that really hit hard? Cardi claims Offset even FaceTimed her while he was chilling with his new girl, like he wanted to rub it in her face, playing with her emotions from a distance like some twisted game. That's beyond disrespectful. It's emotional warfare. And Cardi, who's always known for being bold and unfiltered, sounded drained. She said it straight. This isn't drama anymore. It's survival mode. She talked about revenge plays, non-stop obsessive voicemails, and months of psychological pressure that wore her all the way down. This wasn't about clout or jealousy anymore. It was about setting boundaries and getting free, even while being pulled back into madness. If you're shocked, don't be. Cardi's been sounding the alarm for months now. Back in January, she publicly called out Offset and even his mother, accusing them of robbing her. She didn't give full details, but the energy, heavy. She also put him on blast for being distant with their own kids, skipping out on holidays and quality time, yet popping up for his other children.
That was mad. He's mad about that. Mind you, this man sent text messages to somebody that I was dealing with me, of me and him having sex. That's the type of I've been dealing with for the past 2 months. Every time he knows that I go out of town, he harasses me. He leave me voice notes, trying to put my self-esteem to the ground, and I'm so tired of
dropping gifts and attention like he was doing it to spite her. Fans were quick to connect the dots. Was this about family or just another power move? Because everything, from the late-night calls to the emotional neglect, started to look like one long pattern of control. Cardi's supporters are now calling it out for what it is: coercive control. And honestly, they might be right. The emotional loop is loud. Guilt trips, sudden apologies, humiliation, threats, and promises to change. It's the kind of behavior that keeps someone trapped in confusion. And according to folks close to Cardi, this latest meltdown seems to have one clear trigger: Stefon Diggs. Apparently, Offset isn't just mad that Cardi moved on, he's furious. And not just because she's dating, but because she's dating someone like Diggs, another big name, someone he can't control. That's when Offset's tone allegedly shifted. The texts turned darker, the pleas became threats, and now the whole world's watching as Offset spirals in real time. Insiders say he's been begging Cardi to forgive him, pushing hard for another chance, promising he'll change, swearing she shouldn't go through with the divorce. But Cardi, she's not new to this game. She's been here before. Remember, back in 2020, she filed for divorce the first time because of infidelity. And this time, it looks like she's finally done playing nice. Cardi did try. She really gave Offset another shot. They reconciled for a bit, tried to patch things up, maybe even rebuild the family. But by the end of last year, it became obvious. Nothing had really changed. And this time, the issue wasn't just cheating. It was something deeper: absence. Cardi says Offset started disappearing emotionally, financially, and even as a father. And who's been holding it all together? Her. Cardi claims she's been footing the bill for everything: school tuition, security, childcare, the whole thing. Meanwhile, Offset, she says he couldn't even bother to show up. And this wasn't just about feeling neglected. It felt like full-on betrayal. And that, for Cardi, was the final straw. Now, with Offset allegedly threatening to take his own life, things have gone from heartbreaking to dangerously disturbing. But Cardi isn't buying the crocodile tears this time. She's done pretending that some fake apology and sweet talk will magically fix the damage. She says it's clear. He's not sorry, he hasn't changed, and she's not letting him drag her back into that toxic cycle again. For Cardi, this divorce isn't just a breakup. It's protection. Protection for her peace, her children, and her sanity. And Offset's latest spiral is impossible to ignore now. It's gone way past sad. It's starting to look like a full-on emotional breakdown. Want to know what allegedly triggered the latest meltdown? A photo. Yep, just a picture. Cardi says Offset lost it after seeing a pic of their son, Wave, rocking the same braided hairstyle as Stefon Diggs. Yup.
Last year, I really felt like I was going crazy. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Like, my baby came out 5 pounds. A healthy baby. No.
The NFL star Cardi's been rumored to be dating. That tiny detail, it apparently sent Offset over the edge. That one photo, it sent Offset into a full-blown rage. What looked like a harmless moment, just a picture of little Wave with braided hair, sparked something explosive. Offset wasn't just hurt, he snapped, and he made it public. He jumped on X, firing off angry posts, tossing out veiled threats, and questioning how any man was supposed to stay calm when someone plays with his kid. In one now-deleted post, he even said, "Somebody died for playing with my son. Call me the crash dummy if you want." That wasn't just frustration, those were fighting words. But let's be real, it wasn't just about the braids. That photo represented something deeper. To Offset, it screamed replacement, another man stepping into the spot he once held, not just as Cardi's man, but as a father figure to their child. And if that wasn't enough, what really made it worse? That viral video of Cardi B twerking on Stefon Diggs, laughing while he playfully slapped her behind. Fans went wild. Cardi looked happy, carefree, glowing, while Offset was out here crashing out in real time. He wanted to prove he still mattered in her life. But the truth? She's moved on, and the world's watching it unfold. Behind closed doors, things got even uglier. Cardi says Offset's behavior turned disturbed. After receiving more threatening texts from him, she decided to hit back in a different way by forwarding those messages straight to his new girl, Melanie Jada, the model who had been flexing with him on a luxury Dubai shopping spree. That move, it pushed Offset over the edge, and according to Cardi, that's when his rage truly exploded. Offset was furious, but Cardi didn't back down. And why would she? Because according to her, he crossed a major line first. She claims Offset sent explicit revenge content directly to Stefon Diggs in a jealous outburst. That wasn't just petty, it was calculated, and Cardi had receipts. So when she forwarded Offset's toxic texts to his new girl, that was nothing compared to what he'd already pulled. Cardi later opened up about what it's really like dealing with him behind the scenes. She said that anytime she travels, Offset completely loses control, flooding her phone with long, degrading voice notes. And these weren't random emotional slips, they were constant. Months of cruel messages, all aimed at tearing down her confidence. It was mental warfare, dressed up as heartbreak. Things took a darker turn when Cardi revealed just how badly this harassment had affected her. In an emotional session on X, she told fans that her marriage had drained her, not just emotionally, but mentally and physically. She was straight up exhausted. And then came the rawest moment of all. Cardi confessed that it got so bad she felt like she could have snapped. In her own words, "I was gonna end up going to jail because I was gonna end up killing him. Seriously, with my bare hands." That hit different. Fans were stunned by the honesty, but many said it finally made sense. They weren't seeing a woman angry over a breakup. They were seeing someone trying to survive emotional chaos. Offset pulling the plug on his socials wasn't just a random move. It screamed emotional breakdown. Publicly, he tried to vanish. But behind the scenes, sources say he's struggling hard with the reality that Cardi's bond with Stefon Diggs is getting stronger, and that this time, there's no fixing it. But what really left folks speechless? In the middle of all this chaos, Offset had the nerve to officially ask for child support. Yup, you read that right. Even though Cardi's been covering everything, from elite private schools to round-the-clock security, Offset still walked into court looking for more money. And the numbers don't lie. Cardi's net worth is sitting somewhere between $80 to $100 million, while Offset's is around $30 million at best. Yet he's the one asking for help? Make it make sense. Word is, the court granted joint custody, but gave Cardi primary residence to keep things stable for the kids. And honestly, nobody was shocked by that. Cardi's been the one holding it down. The irony? It's thick. Offset asking for support when he's barely there, emotionally, financially, or physically. Cardi hasn't been quiet about it either. She's been calling him out, loud and clear. She says he's been MIA, not showing up for the kids, not showing up in life, and definitely not showing up for her. And meanwhile, she's juggling motherhood and dropping chart-topping hits like it's nothing. While Cardi keeps building, Offset's asking for handouts. and fans are not feeling it. Cardi's been real about the weight she carried. Single motherhood, non-stop hustle, and the brutal spotlight of fame. She said it plain. Offset has always cared more about the image of fatherhood than actually being present. To him, it's all Instagram captions and birthday shoutouts, but real parenting, showing up. Cardi says he flopped again and again. For her, the marriage didn't just collapse one day, it eroded, slowly and painfully. She talked about all the emotional labor she poured into keeping things afloat, how she worked hard to keep up appearances, and how she shielded their kids from the chaos behind closed doors. But now that she's out of that pressure cooker, she's not holding back. She's been calling Offset out publicly, labeling him a deadbeat dad, and finally reclaiming her time and her peace. Still, not everyone online is taking her side. The internet's split. Some people argue that Offset's downward spiral is more about regret than control. They say the man's falling apart because he genuinely cared, and now he's broken over losing Cardi for good. But others are digging into something way messier, Cardi's timeline with Stefon Diggs. There's been whispering for a while that her romance with the NFL star might have overlapped with her final months with Offset. Back then, she was 8 months pregnant, and fans were already speculating that she and Diggs had something going on quietly behind the scenes. And when DJ Academics jumped in saying, "These industry chicks are literally paying these dudes to be with them," Diggs smashed and other rappers' girls too, it only poured gas on the fire. If even part of that is true, Offset's heartbreak might cut deeper than people thought. It might be pain mixed with betrayal, not just control. So maybe, yeah, it is betrayal. Maybe Offset really did feel blindsided. But even if that's true, nothing excuses what he's been doing lately. From the threats, to the public meltdowns, to the revenge content, Offset's recent actions have crossed the line. And now, even folks who once had his back are starting to question everything. While Cardi and Stefon Diggs keep showing up arm in arm, smiling, holding hands, living unbothered, Offset's getting dragged across social media. People are accusing him of weaponizing mental health, using breakdowns and threats to twist Cardi's emotions. And at this point, a lot of people aren't buying it anymore. It's not that they doubt Offset might be struggling. It's that the timing and the patterns make it look like something way more calculated. It's starting to feel like this isn't grief. It's control, like a man trying to regain power in a situation where he's lost all grip. Because let's be clear, Offset had chances, plenty. Cardi stayed, she forgave, she gave him time and space to get it right. But that door, it's shut now. Not out of revenge, but out of self-preservation. For Cardi, this chapter isn't just about a new relationship. It's about finally choosing herself, choosing her kids, choosing peace over chaos. And the internet's watching it all unfold in real time. One user summed it up best. Offset's not hurt. He's just mad he can't control her anymore. Another chimed in, people like him don't love anybody. They just hate losing power. And that's the core of it. What we're seeing isn't heartbreak. It's a power struggle unraveling in public. And Cardi's not playing that game anymore. It's wild how some men won't treat you right, but still refuse to let you go. One user didn't hold back, saying, sending revenge content to your ex, the actual mother of your kids, and her new man? That's the goofiest thing I've seen in all 31 years of life. And honestly, they're not wrong. So what's really going on here? Is Offset truly heartbroken and spiraling because he lost the woman he once had? Or is this just another messy move to control the narrative and control Cardi? Because from where a lot of people are standing, this ain't love, it's obsession. And the difference? It's dangerous. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.